Hello everybody, Joe Bagdonuts here, welcome back for another episode of Umineko. Last time we left off, Yasuda, Shannon, Beatrice solved the riddle. We got it. Kinzo got his inner peace and then kicked the bucket very dramatically. What a guy. And yeah, and he's pretty much learned a lot of people in the fold on this one. Gotta wonder how much Genji and Kumasawa were in on it, in all the games, that Beatrice was the main perpetrator, because, well, they know who Beatrice is, they know who would be pulling this shit, and yet, they, just kind of stood on by. So let's keep going and see if, we learn any of that info. Should have recorded this video a lot earlier. It is supposed to have been recorded yesterday and gone up today. Except now it's like 3 p.m. and I'm just recording it today. Yeah, I probably had like a 24-hour bug yesterday. Like, I was not feeling good. Like, my insides turned out at work. Came home, I'm like, I was losing. I was falling asleep so easily, and I was kind of red and feverish. And when I mean like, I was tired. Like, it was 11 o'clock, like 11 a.m. and I was sitting at work like dozing off, like struggling to stay awake. I didn't get home until like 4:30. I just crawled immediately into bed and slept until like 7 in the morning. I was just completely comatose. But I still had to get up. I was running a squadron event today, so I had to go and do that. And now here I am, tired and a little sweaty and gross. But not too sweaty. Like, I was sweating earlier because I was out and about doing stuff, but then it dried, like, kind of like that crust, that salty crust. Like, not super gross, but just kind of like, I can feel it. My face is kind of gritty. Definitely need to take a shower after this, but wanted to get this done first. Otherwise, I would take my shower, and then I'm just going to crawl right back into bed and proceed to die. Because I'm still a little hot. A little, I don't want to say I'm feverish, but I'm definitely red when I look in the mirror. Kind of, don't want to say I look like a tomato, because that means my face is a lot rounder than it is. However, seeing some of the pictures that we're taking today, I could do with losing a little bit. Just a smidge. Trim it up a bit. But that's neither here nor there. But what is the mystery. Ooh! Which has almost been entirely solved at this point. Just get us to the why done it, huh? And I need to click on the screen in order to actually make the text go forward.
私の話はおしまいです。あら、それでおしまい?
Yeah, there's clearly a little bit more.
そこからの2年間が楽しいんじゃないの?
必要ね。どれだけ苦しみ、葛藤したか。過去のゲームであれだけ語らせて。
Just things get more twisted from that point forward.
魂が満たない家具たちの葛藤ですか。決闘はしたのです。決着もつきかけていました。しかし1986年という年はあまりに無慈悲が過ぎました。
We talking the whole year?
運命を呪ったろうな。
はい。あと1年早ければ、あるいは遅ければ。
決闘の勝敗は違う形ではあってもついただろうな。
Either, a year earlier could have just gone off with Battler. A year later, everything would have been settled. Moved on and just been like, well, yep. But, life moves forward. That was an old flame that's died out. But then just kind of came in there in the middle and just absolute chaos. Silently, Claire hung her head. If only I'd been given time. Or else, if I hadn't been given time to think and agonize. I curse everything. Why did it have to be 1986?
私は委ねる決断をしました。委ねる。
That's an odd way to put it, delegate.
先代当主より全てを受け継いだ儀式の時のように、私もまた奇跡という名の運命に身を委ねることを選びました。
Maybe more accurate to say that I entrusted my fate to a spin of the roulette. We cannot even decide our own fate. So, we let fate decide everything for us. Perhaps someone's efforts would be rewarded. Or perhaps all would be joined and set free. Or perhaps someone would be kind enough to put a stop to this lunacy.
どの運命をルーレットが指し示そうとも、私はそれに従うことにしました。私は運命に抗ったって、いつだって運命は私に非常だったんですから。
You're not wrong there. Claire hung her head and let a single tear drop down. Humans will carelessly say that people have infinite possibilities. However, the Endless Witch knows how limited those possibilities really are. So, within the limits of her fate, she tried to find the infinite. By entrusting her fate to God, she tried to find the infinite. However, this does not mean that she abandoned her fate, because she spun fate's roulette with an unshakable and certain will. A certain fate, where absolutely no one could escape if an epitaph was not solved. With it, she sealed up the island, including herself. October 4th and 5th, 1986, were sealed away by an absolute and certain will. And she entrusted herself to one of the fates that could be chosen in that short span of time on that island.
これで今度こそ私の告白はおしまいです。私の事件への動機はもう十分でしょう。これでわからぬならもはや語りません。どうせ私の心など誰も
Motive, the inner
わからぬ
turmoil.
でしょうか。
Sure.
そうだな。
At a crossroads and everything's spinning around you and you don't know what to do.
もうそれ以上を語る必要はね
え。運命の袋小路に迷い込んだ私にとってリオ、あなたがどれほどの希望であるかわかるでしょうか。
Yeah, it could have all just been normal.
私はあなたの別の可能性、あなたが幸せであることは妬ましく、そしてそれ以上に眩しくて嬉しいのです。
That it was possible.
あなたという未来があり得た。
It wasn't all entirely hopeless in the end. It fated to just be garbage all the time in every single situation ever.
今の私にはそれだけで救いなのです。私は私の分まで
Yeah, kind of heavy to just get this dropped on you.
あなたに最後に会えてよかった。感謝します、ベルン・カステル卿。私はあんたの葬儀を執り行ってるだけ。感謝なんてい
That
らな
wasn't for
い。
you.
ではそろそろおしまいにしましょうか。亡者は亡者の国へそろそろ送り出されるべきだわ。
Yep, go get in the box.
はい、私のお葬式なのですから。私はあるべきところへもう帰りましょう。そんな顔をしないで。そしてあなたが私でなかったことをどうか喜んで。私もまたあなたが私でないことを喜んでいるのですから。行きます、あなたの分まで。
You do you, Leon.
幸せになって、そして素敵な人と出会って、願わくばあなたが魔女として目覚めず、
Yeah,
人間として生
it
き、
generally seems that, becoming a witch is a bad thing.
一なる魂を持って愛するたった一人の人を愛し抜ける、そんな人生を送ることを願っています。はい。ウィルさん、あなたという傍観者に感謝します。あなたは私が本当に理解してほしかったあの人ではないけれど、私の心を救ってくれました。
俺はお前を理解する。心をないがしろにしね
ありがとう。私は理解してくれた素晴らしき傍観者のあなたに私の最後を委ねたいと思います。
俺で いいのか。
はい。
Yeah, the jig's up at this point. Nothing else but, left to do.
私にとって大事なのは、縁ある人ではなく、理解してくれた人です。
The one I wanted to understand me didn't. The person with no connection to me did. There's nothing sad about it. On the contrary, the fact that a person with no relation to me was still able to understand me is a miracle that I feel grateful for.
あなたは良き傍観者であり、私を理解してくださった。
Well, this is his job.
たったそれで、縁には十分です。
わかった。
私の心臓を、名もなき素晴らしき傍観者のあなたに捧げます。
Well, he has a name. You just called it. His name's Will.
リオン、下がりなさい。え、何が始まるんですか？
Magic.
ミステリーは探偵が引導を渡さなきゃ死ねないのよ。
お前の心臓だけ止めればいいのか。
死者を弔うとき、心臓だけを棺に収めますか？
わかった。土より生まれたものは土に帰る。お前のすべてを土に返そう。
Alright, going all ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Let's
土
go.
は土に、灰は灰に、
Yep, there we
塵
go.
は塵に、幻は幻に、そして夢は夢に。
あ
あ、それでは始めましょう。私の埋葬を。
Going full deconstruction of everything?
始めましょう。まるで私の最後のゲームの最後のように。
Let's deconstruct the story. Crack my neck. Light gathered Will's back, and a sword materialized there. Slowly, he drew it out. Its pitch-black tip, which could neatly slice apart truth from fiction, swung once, leaving a black trail, and then again, leaving a white trail.
真実と虚構を切って分ける気な。
Following Will's lead, a similar sword appeared in Claire's hand. Its tip glinted silver, the opposite of Will's. Huh?
第一のゲーム、第一
Yeah,
の
the storage house.
園芸倉庫に6人
Or
の
the
死者。
shed, yeah.
幻は幻に、土には帰れぬムクロが幻に帰る。
Will's pitch-black slash cut across Claire's body at an angle. The blade passed through her like she was water, but its tip sent golden flower petals scattering.
第1のゲーム、第2の番、寄り添いし2人のムクロは鎖で守られし密室。
Mm-hmm.
幻は幻に、幻の鎖は幻しか閉じ込めない。
Yep. The razor-thin black blur sent golden flower petals scattering again.
第1のゲーム、第4の番、密室書斎の老頭子は
Yeah.
灼熱の釜の中に。
幻は幻に、幻の男はあるべきところへ。
第1のゲーム、
Yeah, Cannon getting stabbed in the chest.
悔いに胸を捧げし少年の最後。
幻は幻に、幻想の魔女と悔いは幻想しか貫けない。
第1のゲーム、第2、第7、第8の番、歌う少女の密室に横たわる3人のムクロ。
幻は幻に、盲目なる少女が歌うは幻。 密室幻想.
Yeah, the first game is a little tricky to get a whole lay of because it happened all before the blue and red truths and stuff were introduced. So, for all we know, all of it is just it didn't even come close to what actually happened.
あなたは素晴らしい。
初めから危ういゲームだったが、もしもあいつがそれでも死に顔を見たいと言って踏み入っていたならどうしていた。
それが運命に身を委ねると。
お前のルーレットというやつだな。
続けましょう。第2のゲーム、第1の番。
Yeah, everyone with candy in their guts.
殻を
Small
裂かれし6
bombs.
人は密室礼拝堂に。
Yeah, we've already solved that. It was small
幻は
bombs.
幻に黄金の真実が幻の女王を閉ざす。
第2のゲーム、第2の番。寄り添いし2人は死体さえも寄り添えない。
Well,
幻は幻に役目を終えたる幻はムクロさえも残せない。
you know, canon can't be there because canon's not real.
第2のゲーム、第4、第5、第6の番。夏日の密室にて、生き残りし者はなし。
土は土に棺桶が密室であることに疑問を挟む者はいない。
Very poetic of you, I guess.
第2のゲーム、第7、第8の番。赤き目の幻想に切り殺されし2人。
土は土に幻は幻に幻に生み出せるムクロはなし。
Only people can kill people. Every time the blade passed through Claire's body, golden flower petals flew everywhere. Bit by bit, the petals covering her heart were being torn away. Oh, she's like an artichoke, you know. Gotta get through all the petals to get to the heart. The witch illusion was scattering.
第3のゲーム、第1の番。連鎖密室がつなぎし6人のムクロ。
幻は幻に輪になる密室。終わりと始まりが重なる。
It's a bit of an Ouroboros there.
第3のゲーム、第2の番。バラ庭園にて親子はムクロを重ねる。
土は土に語られし最後に何の偽りもなし。
I suppose.
第3のゲーム、第4、第5、
Yeah,
第
just
6
that,
の
you know, Rosa got pushed over and got her head on a pike, and Maria got choked the fuck out.
屋敷にて倒れし3人のムクロ。
土は土に語られし最後に何の偽りもなし。
Third game was pretty, you know, I don't want to say straightforward, you know,
第3の
until we
ゲー
got
ム
to the end, and then it's like,
第
who the
7
fuck
第
killed
8の
Nanja?
夫婦2人は東屋にてムクロを晒す。
土は土に明白なる犯人は無情の刃を振るいたり。
第4のゲーム、第1の番。食堂にて吹き荒れる殺人の嵐。
Yep.
幻は幻に黄金の真実が紡ぎ出す物語は幻に帰る。
No pitfalls happened there.
第4のゲーム、第2の番。2人の若者は試練に挑み共に果てる。
幻は幻に黄金の真実が紡ぎ出す物語は幻に帰る。
第4のゲーム、 第4、第5、第6、第7、第8の番、逃亡者誰も生き残れはしない。
土は土に、幻は幻に、虚構に彩られし物言わぬムクロ。
Okay.
第4のゲーム、第9の番、そして誰も生き残れはしない。
土は土に、幻は幻に、虚構は猫箱に閉ざされることで真実となる。
Yep. They never fully got in there to confirm whether they were, actually dead. Though I'm pretty sure there was some red blue truth back forth on that one, but I can't remember. Over and over again, Claire's body was sliced by the pitch-black sword. As proof, the chapel is now filled with golden flower petals, which danced around like gold snow. I mean, it is very dramatic. The gold snow was like confetti at the finale of a show. The curtains were finally falling on the stage that was her. Who done it? Who is the culprit? Claire slowly raised her hands. The sword she held became gold rose petals and melted away. She stood there, arms wide, waiting for the final strike.
幻は幻に、約束された死神を魔女の意志を問わずに物語に幕を下ろす。
The wide swing of Will's pitch-black blade cleaved through Claire's form. Blown away by a powerful gust of wind, her human form crumbled in an instant, became a storm of golden flower petals, and was torn apart. After she was blown away, a golden heart remained in midair. But it too was swallowed by the vortex of wind and broke down into flower petals. The golden vortex swirled around the chapel. Then, the swirl of petals gradually scattered out of existence and vanished. A few remaining petals danced around like snowflakes, and those final vestiges decorated the chapel beautifully. A beam of light lit the center of the stage. There stood Claire, whose tale had ended. Then, slowly, softly, she faced the audience and bowed. Applause spread throughout the theater. The long tale she had just finished telling was being given massive applause. It went on and on, and on and on. The stage slowly sunk into the darkness of oblivion. Claire continued to bow in front of the unending applause, and as the curtain fell, she faded into the darkness. People are born with sin, and live life to obtain forgiveness from someone. Or perhaps they are born as mysteries, and live life searching for someone to solve them. Here, all of her riddles have been solved, with no lingering regrets. People are riddles. They want someone else to solve the riddle. They live life wanting someone to solve the riddle that they are, the most difficult riddle in the world. They want someone to look at the riddle they are, and they want that person to solve it. For her, that wish has been granted. Her soul will wander no longer. Rest in eternal slumber within your cat box coffin. Well, that's done. Time for Will to go get some lunch. You know, it's his union-regulated 1-hour lunch break. Though there had been so many golden flower petals flitting about like a blizzard, not a single one remained. Everything had become dust, vanished as though there had been nothing there in the first place, and all was silent once more. Even the sound of rain was gone. The rain must have stopped at some point. Must be nice. I was fucking out doing shit in the rain for like 3 hours today. My feet were sopping wet. It was awful.
そうだといいのですが。
逃れられぬ袋小路の運命と自らを呪い諦めきっていた。そんなあいつにとってお前という幸せな奇跡に出会えたことは何よりもの救いになった。だからそんな顔をするな。
Even if it's like a 1 in a billion, you know, the fate, you know, did exist. Even if Byrne had to go fucking dumpster diving in fragments to find it.
お前にしちゃ粋な計らいだったな。
私はアウアウから葬儀の執り行いを任されただけ。あんたという進行役を呼んで全てを任せただけだけれど。ありがとう、ウィル。私がクレルに代わってあなたに感謝します。異なる運命の私の未練を全て断ち切ってくれてありがとう。
So, what now?
お前はもっと頭を抱えて混乱すると思っていた。
I mean, at this point, you just gotta learn to roll with
理
it.
解しています。
Something on my fucking leg.
私がいかに
My
幸
leg
せ
got
に生きてきた
eaten
かという
alive
こと
by mosquitoes today. It was awful.
何かの運命に翻弄され異なる世界を生きていたなら私は同じ運命の袋小路にいたかもしれない。しかし私はとてつもなく低い確率の幸運の中から今の世界に生きている。
Yep, you better go home and fucking never complain about anything and just count your blessings.
その価値と意味を教えられましたから。何？意外そうな顔して。
魔女にろくな奴はいないってのが俺の持論だったが。
I mean, what do you really call Byrne decent?
改める必要があるかもな。
いいわよ、改めないで。私は退屈しのぎのためにあの子のゲームに乗った。そして負けはしたけれど楽しく遊ばせてもらった。あの子はそのゲーム盤を畳まずに行ってしまった。
Nothing worse than, you know, everyone just throwing a shit fit in the middle of a game of Monopoly and just, you know, walking away.
私は遊ばせてもらった礼と敗者の務めとして最後の片付けを引き受けただけよ。
Sucks if you're Erica, though.
てっきりもっとひでえことをすると思ってたが。
ひどいこと？
Well, she doesn't have any skin in this game anymore.
心をないがしろにしたもっとひでえゲームを見せると思っていた。
ひどいゲームにしたわ。あの子がファンタジーだと称するゲームを。
No, it's more of a slasher.
あんたという探偵を連れてきてミステリーで終わらせたわ。魔女幻想は見事に砕け散って私のささやかな仕返しはおしまい。この絡まった恋の物語を絶対の意志で終わらせる。その絶対の意志に絶対の魔女が微笑んであの子を2日間だけの魔女にした。私はその2日間限られた時間の中だけで無限に広がる万華鏡を楽しませてもらった。私は祝福しないから奇跡は起きない。でもその結末さえもあの子が望んだものよ。無限の物語は一体どの真実で本当は終わったんでしょう。
さあな。
Yeah.
それを決めつけないのが猫箱ってもんだ。
Any possible configurations exist.
開けば屋敷は跡形も残らず、エヴァを除いて誰も生き残らない物語。エヴァは何も語らず死んだ以上、すべては猫箱の中、有限の箱の中にしまわれる無限の可能性。こうして思うと、彼女が生きて、そして死んだ島そのものが黄金鏡だったのかもしれませんね。猫箱を黄金鏡と呼ぶならね。そしてその猫箱の中で考えうる最も楽しい物語をバトラは書いたわ。
Really? You liked his the most?
ベアトリーチェの棺に収められたその本か。
そうよ。彼が思い描いた彼女が最も幸せな物語。とても楽しくて愛に満ちた幸せな物語でした。私もあの物語が棺には一番ふさわしいと思います。
Is it different from the last one?
いや、違う。
え？
クレルは言ったぜ。お前という存在が彼女の希望であり、救いなんだ。お前がこれからも幸せであることが何よりもの救いなんだ。
はい。
Yep, not some fanfic cat box, you know, theory, but, you know, an actual, well, living, breathing, you know, proof that this path existed, whatnot.
あんたはただそれだけで、あの子の奇跡なのだから。はい、彼女の分も幸せに生きます。
よくこいつを見つけ出したな。
Taking this in pretty good stride, Leon, considering, you know, you just got this dropped on you like 2 hours ago.
あの膨大な海の中から、200何万高の中から探し出したのか。
私ごときにできることなんて、せいぜいその程度のことよ。
Yeah, you're pretty good at killing time.
これで葬儀はおしまいよ。約束通り、結界は解いたわ。あんたが立ち去れば、時間も元通りに動き出す。
これでお役ごめんか。早く帰らねえとダイアナがまたカーテンを引っかき出す。
Yeah, go feed your cat.
短い間でしたがお世話になりました。
あばよ、異なる幾百万の自分たちの代わりに幸せになりな。
Bit heavy of a, you know, thing to have riding on your shoulders, but worse ways to live your life. When he left the chapel, a beautiful after-rain sky stretched out above him. That sky, which was a mix of rain clouds, gaps of sunlight, and the tint of twilight, had a beauty to it that couldn't be described in words. Will slowly descended the stone stairs, stepping in the puddles. Then, he waved without looking back, and left the chapel behind. His form and footprints gradually faded away, until there was no trace left. Yeah, get out of here, you fucking weirdo hyper-dimensional beings. I meant to say higher, but I said hyper, but that, you know, hyper-dimensional is even cooler, so we'll just roll with it. Nah, she deserves it, you're fine. Burns just like a bit of a Cinderay shitter, you know.
何感謝されるなんて100年ぶりだからなんて返事をすればいいか戸惑っただけよ。
Go get wine drunk or something. Barncastel shrugged, and then floated up into the air. Then she looked up at the beautiful 7 colors of light shining in through the stained glass, and spoke as though someone was looking down on her from there.
これで答え合わせには十分でしょ。これでわからないなら傍観者の魔女どもを集めてお茶会でも開いて他の魔女の推理でも拝聴したら。私は意地悪だからこれ以上を詳しくはやらないわよ。考えぬ魔女はいない。なぜなら考えぬ魔女は死ぬか海の木図なんだもん。
We already got the who done it and the why done it. You know, the how done it, yeah, you can hand wave it with the narrative.
さあ、これから戻ってあんたの推理がどの程度当たってたかを魚に 一杯やりましょう。もう悪役も巫女も疲れたわ。私もこれでお役ごめんよ。じゃあね、リオン。そして傍観者の魔女たち。
Are you sure you're tired of being the bad guy? It seems like you really enjoyed it. Like you were having an absolute ball. Berncastel burst and disappeared. A single golden flower petal glittered. Leon picked it up. It was the only trace of a miracle that remained in this chapel. At that time, cheery voices could suddenly be heard. It was the relatives. They came out of the waiting room one by one.
Leon, ここにいたのですか？探しましたよ。母さん、申し訳ありません。少し考え事をしていました。
やっと雨が上がったみたいやな。いい天気みたいや。
Hopefully it's a nice cool front blowing through, otherwise it's going to be hot and humid now.
皆さん方、屋敷へ戻ろうじゃないかね。これでベアトリーチェの葬儀は終了だそうだ。
お父さん、当主様は？
今来るぜ。今日は散々だったな。親父の葬式ごっこに付き合うのも疲れるぜ。
そんなこと言っちゃダメよ。大事なセレモニーだったわ。そうね。お父様にとって大切な儀式だったと思う。
Well, if we're in a timeline where, you know, Beatrice too, well, even if she did kick it, and, you know, Leon, you know, kind of got fully into the family without Nasi throwing him off a cliff. Yeah, it makes sense he'd be, you know, a little more well off, you know, physically and mentally, that, you know, he wouldn't kick the bucket, you know, a year prior, like he did in all the other fragments.
私お腹空いちゃったわ。ゴーダさん、何か作れない？
はい。すぐにお茶のご用意をいたします。
リオンはどこか。
He's probably cut down on the drink too. At least I would hope so.
当主様、ただいま。
As Kinzo came out after the others, Leon ran up to him.
今日は一日ご苦労だった。ベアトリーチェの葬儀はこれで終了である。
はい。ベアトリーチェの魂もきっと救われただろうと思います。
If, you know, Leon is Leon, and, you know, Beatrice 1 is Beatrice, what was, you know, Kuadorian Beatrice's name? Unless you literally just also named her Beatrice.
なぜそうわかる？
さっきまで私はベアトリーチェと一緒にいました。そして彼女が未練なく旅立ったのを見届けました。だからわかります。私がそれを保証します。
そうか。お前が言うなら間違いはあるまい。
The relatives left the chapel one by one. Leon left too, giving Kinzo a shoulder to lean on. A beam of sunlight peeked through the clouds, looking like a staircase leading up to heaven. Well, that was a short chapter. You know, all in all, for, you know, compared to the other episodes, what is this? You know, part 12 so far, and I did a lot of short ones this time. But that does leave us plenty of time for the tea party and the question marks before we finally move on into the final episodes. Episode which, you know, chapter 8, but for us, you know, it's weird saying episode, because, you know, episode implies, like, oh, yeah, like one segment of my videos, but no, like, episode of the story? Stuff. Tea party. Pull up and sit down and unwind. Was your sojourn of Rokujima a pleasant one? The Golden Witch has gifted you with an invitation to her tea party. I hope that you all participate. Well, we kind of have to, in order to, you know, move along the plot, so... When I came to, all was silent. The lights were dim. And yet, the room felt large. Where on earth is this? No, we don't have any background CG. There we go. I was sitting in what seemed to be a very small single sofa. It was very constricting, and there seemed to be several more of them off to each side of me. Oh, it's like when you go to like one of those movie theaters where they got the sofas instead of like, just standard theater seats. Is it like the Alamo Draft House? Once I noticed that, I realized that it was in a theater. Or in some metaphysical space. Don't think too hard about it, it'll hurt your head. I don't know how long I've been here. And more importantly, I don't know where this is. Beatrice's funeral ended. Everyone went back to the mansion, and after that, my memory gets fuzzy, and I can't recall anything else. Then, I was surprised to notice the presence of another person. Apparently, I wasn't the only one sitting in the audience seating in this vast theater. Why did it sound like chains rattling, though? The sound had come from a seat to the side of mine. When I looked, I saw a girl sitting several seats off to my left. It was a face I had never seen before. I wondered who she was. She looked like a high schooler, or a college student. Anjay? About the same age I was. She groaned. Apparently, she had just woken up. I didn't want to scare her, so I decided to introduce myself first. Apparently, she was equally surprised to find someone other than herself here. She jumped when she heard my greeting. It's complicated. Yeah, what is this saw shit? Well, she's also wearing an armband. She looked suspiciously at the one-winged crest emblazoned on my collar. Her stare, which was unmoving, but not openly hostile, wasn't exactly pleasant for me. Who?
後ろ宮。え、何？リオンです。理科の理に、魚するの魚でリオンと読みます。珍しい名前でしょ。名前の珍しさなら、私でもごめんなさい。私はあんたを知らないわ。道理でしょうね。
It's okay, yeah.
私もあなたを知りませんか。
You're from some bumfuck middle of nowhere fragment
そう
that
じゃ
no
な
one's
くて。
ever heard of.
あんた誰？後ろ宮家にあんたなんかいないわ。どうしてそう決めつけられ
ascent
るん
of
です？
some long forgotten dirt road fragment.
あなたは当家と何か関わりが？私が後ろ宮家の人間だからよ。それは。
She showed me your left sleeve, and the crest of the one-winged eagle emblazoned upon it.
お言葉を返すようですが、あなたこそ誰です？後ろ宮家であなたを見たことがない。細切れにされたり、朗読させられたり。次は何？今度はどこの魔女の余興なの？
She spat out those words and seemed to be complaining about something.
エンジェ。私は後ろ宮エンジェ。ルドルフとキリエの娘よ。エンジェちゃん？
Yeah, but you're supposed to be like a lot smaller.
だってエンジェちゃんはまだ6つのはず。私が6つだったのは
It's okay, she's the witch in
六軒島で最
1999.
後の親族会議があったあの年の話よ。なるほど。あんたが1986年の人間であることは分かったわ。私は18よ。そして1998年の人間。つまり
98, close. I was close.
12年後の未来のエンジェちゃん。納得してもらえて嬉しいわ。でも申し訳ないことに、私にあなたの心当たりがないの。
Fair.
あなたは誰？親は？
Just say Beatrice and that'll make everything more convenient. But also, explaining who your parents are is gonna be hard.
父はクラウス、母は夏日です。それはジェシカお姉ちゃんだわ。ジェシカは妹です。どういうこと？ジェシカお姉ちゃんは一人っ子じゃなかったの？
Yes, but by this point, I was starting to figure out the situation this Anjay had come from. She's probably from the world where I awakened as a witch, The world where Leon doesn't exist.
説明するのは難しいですが、こう思ってください。
Yeah, if you know all the stories, just say I'm the man from 19 years ago.
あなたの知る世界と別の世界では、私も後ろ宮家の人間なんです。あなたの世界での私は、別の運命により別の人生を歩み、後ろ宮家の人間として生きてはいないの
Also,
で
is
す。
Natsuhi stupid? Like, if she... Did she not know what gender that baby was? Like, from the sounds of it, they had been together for like, I don't know, a week or two? You know, a relatively long amount of time. Not just like, oh, I met this kid 5 hours ago and tossed him off a cliff. Like, I get you have servants who will, like, change the diaper and shit. But you should know what gender that child was. How'd you get fooled by the man from 19 years ago if it wasn't a man? If that was a girl baby. Natsuki, are you dumb? I know you are, but like, come on.
あんた、魔女なの？
No.
残念ながら普通の人間です。今の話は魔女のベルンカステルさんに教えられたことです。ベルンカステル？あの青い長髪のネクラそうな顔した？ええ。
I mean, you forgot the most important part, the cattail.
多分そんな容姿だったと思います。つまり、私はまた魔女の茶番に付き合わされてるわけね。ここは一体？私もさっき目を覚ましたばかりです。ここはどこでしょう？
Oh, theater? That part's pretty obvious, but...
何かを感激しろってのかしら。今はそういう気分ではありませんね。出口を探しましょう。気づいてないの？
Yeah.
これ。え？あ、これは。
Clank. I finally noticed. Both of my wrists and ankles had been attached to them. As long as I sat here, I had enough slack that I could move about a bit, but it looked like there wouldn't be nearly enough for me to get out of this place. A captive audience. What more could a performer ask for?
魔女の駒に落ちたら、永遠にあいつらのおもちゃよ。逃げられない。
Andre crossed her legs, making the chains clank together. She must realize that no amount of struggling will break those chains. That getting panicky won't accomplish anything. She seemed to have nerves of steel. It's more that she's just used to this already. She's acclimated.
あいつらの下僕みたいなもんよ。私は取引したの。家族に会いたい。あの日から連れ戻したいって。魔女はその可能性を与える代わりに、私を魔女の駒としたわ。少なくとも、魔女は約束を守ったわね。お兄ちゃんに会うことだけはできたんだし。バトラ君のこと？エンジェだと名乗ることもできなかったけどね。そして、
Well,
その
you
ささや
did
かな
once,
時間
and
と
then
引
you
き
got
換
turned
え
into
に
hamburger meat.
私は今もこうして魔女のおもちゃ箱の中から永遠に抜け出せない。どうやらあんたもそのお仲間のようね。
Yeah, generally it's a bad idea to interact with higher dimensional beings.
何を契約したの？私は何も。何かを魔女に望んだんじゃないの？
Nah, Leon just kind of got dragged into it.
何も。私という存在がどれだけ奇跡であるかを教えてもらいました。それだけです。いずれにせよ、私たちはここから逃れられない。さあ、魔女たち、今度はどんな余興を見せてくれるの？朗読の次は感激？今度は私が誰かの朗読を見るっていうの？ならば始めてちょうだい。私はとっくに退屈しているの。
Can at least be a musical? Anja yelled this to the pitch-black stage. Her voice reverberated throughout the theater, but no one gave an answer. No, someone did. And that was also a voice that rang out across the theater. However, that voice sounded theatrical, as though someone was announcing the start of a play.
あの日に何があったかって？
Oh, fucking Christ. Also, seeing that bright flash made me think, yeah, I totally saw a bird get fried on a power line today. I was sitting at the traffic light, and all of a sudden, off to the side, I saw like super bright light go. I saw one bird fly away. It was on some power lines, like right next to the pole. So some birds must have landed there. One of them, you know, on the line normally, and the other one somehow, I don't know if it like touched two together or, you know, landed and had like 1 foot on the pole and one on the wire, but one just got absolutely annihilated. I thought it was a like one of those speeding cameras going off, you know, taking a nice flash photography photo of someone's license plate, but I'm like, there's nothing over there. The light's not even there. That's just off to the side, and it's just some power lines. And I'm like, oh, rip some woodland creature.
教えてなんてあげないわ。へそでも噛んで死んじゃえば。この声はあのババアよ。
Yeah.
エヴァおばさんの声だわ。あの日に何があったかとは。1986年、10月4日から5日の2日間。
But particularly from like your fragment.
六軒島で最後の親族会議が行われた日のことよ。今日ですね。
Today is October 4th, 1986. As a prelude to the family conference, Beatrice's funeral was held.
驚いたわ。あんたは1986年の10月4日から来たっていうの？教えて。
Yeah, but a different one.
一体この2日間に何があったの？
The answer she seeks is inside the cat box. Even I can tell her nothing except that there was a tragic misunderstanding of the heart. However, I doubt that explanation would satisfy her. Yeah, we need a timeline, like a sequence of events. Then, a pillar of bright light pierced the stage. There stood a figure in white. That figure, clothed in a white dress, was obviously Claire. Of course, Angers didn't recognize her. She looked suspiciously, apparently wondering who in the world this was. However, even I felt as though something was wrong. Didn't she settle all of her regrets in that funeral a short while ago, before being sent off into the next world? She stood all alone in the narrow beam of light in the center of the stage, and the expression on her face was lifeless. The light began to grow brighter and brighter. It shone more and more fiercely on her, until it became blinding just to look at her. The world was enveloped by a light so bright that we couldn't keep our eyes open. Enveloped by a sound like the wind or television static, and our minds began to go blank. Bit of a stimulus overload. It's like the opposite of a sensory deprivation chamber, just sensory overload chamber.
Well,
they better be. They probably pay a fucking arm and a leg to get those things maintained.
めでるだけの俺たちは楽なもんだ。
手入れしてくれる人たちに感謝しなくちゃ。でもちょっと品がないのよね。
What do you mean? They're nice roses.
兄さんが変に手を加える前の方が素敵だったわ。昔のも昔ので味わいがあってよかったわよね。
What do you mean?
マリアバラ好き。トゲがなければもっと好き。
Mm-hmm.
ひゃー、懐かしいな。この6年ですっかり忘れてたぜ。もうそんなになるんだね。このバラ庭園も。そ
Yeah,
して
6 years is a long time.
本当に見違えたよ。
紹介するよ。使用人のカノン君。バトラとは初対面だよな。
Are you gonna have a bit of an epiphany moment here, bud?
はじめまして。
俺のことはバトラって呼んでくれよな。
Nope.
よろしく頼むぜ。
今日はシャノンもいるぜ。一緒に遊んだの覚えてる？
ああ、シャノンちゃん。すっかり忘れてたぜ。懐かしいな。
Yeah, you really did forget, didn't you, bud?
元気にしてるかい？この6年でますます綺麗になったよ。後で挨拶するといいよ。
シャノンはジョージお兄ちゃんと仲良しなの。
Real good friends.
マリア、それは内緒な。
それでは皆様、そろそろゲストハウスの方へご案内いたします。
After enjoying the lovely welcoming provided by the roses, the relatives followed Goda in the direction of the guest house. October 4th, 1986. Rokinjima. A world without Leon. The day of the Ushinomiya family's family conference. The mysterious letter that Maria read aloud after dinner, just as she'd been told to. The writer of the letter claimed to be the Golden Witch Beatrice and challenged the family. Solve the riddle of the epitaph. Otherwise, I will take everything. It was the letter that declared the start of Beatrice's game, just as it had appeared in so many games before. Had an unknown person appeared to complicate the inheritance problem? Was the 20 billion yen's worth of gold hidden? What was the purposes of this letter? For what goal had it been written? Who on earth was this Beatrice? It was that tangled web of suspicion and paranoia that had been a constant in every game. The dinner of October 4th. Yeah, it was really the starting pistol.
ごめんね。シャノン、子供たちをゲストハウスへ。私たちはこのまま親族会議に入ります。はい、かしこまりました。
黄金の町、
Shannon, you
ベ
fucking
アトリ
rat.
ーチェか。味な手紙をよこしてくれるじゃねえか。
碑文を解いてみろですって。ふざけたこと。あの黄金は私たちのものよ。部外者なんかに譲ってたまるものですか。
I mean, at this point in time, it's already been passed over.
あの黄金さえ見つかりゃ、
It's in writing too.
全員ハッピー。誰も損がねえんだがな。
行こう、みんな。ここからは大人の話だよ。やれやれ。
Yeah, they're gonna be talking about how to avoid paying taxes.
ややこしそうな話
Real
だぜ。
adult things.
ほら、マリア、行くぜ。
ベアとの儀式が始まったね。それでは皆様、ゲストハウスへご案内します。
So what, we just gonna speed run? You know, speed run around?
これは何でしょう。
Well, it's your first time, you know, seeing one. Well, you like downloaded all the experiences from the, you know, super dimensional fragment or whatever.
過去のゲームのいずれかの再演か。さもなくば新しいゲームでしょうね。どのゲームであっても10月4日はほとんど同じ展開だから。
You know, some slight variations, but all the key points are hit.
新しいゲーム、これまでのかけらにない物語ということですか。
私たちを鎖で縛り付けてまで見せたものがすでに知ってるゲームなわけがない。
Yeah, dude, who wants a recap episode, huh?
新しいゲームだと考えるべきでしょうね。
All that means is that the, you know, production team ran into some issues and needed, you know, to fill a time slot.
ならばゲームマスターがいるはず。それは誰？あいつ？ベルンカステル。
私にはそうとは思いません。クレルはもう消え去ったはずなんです。新しい物語を紡ぐ必要性がないはず。
I mean, unless Erica fucking clawed her way back out of oblivion, which, you know,
ゲーム版なんて
wouldn't put it past
とっ
her.
くの昔に昭和魔女どもに乗っ取られてるわ。ベアトでさえあいつらのゲームの駒でしかない。
一体これは何のつもりで誰の仕業なんです。
Oh, well, that's the rub, ain't it?
私たちに何を見せたいんだ。
Before this tale began, Claire definitely appeared on the stage. She is me from a world of a different fate, and the teller of the tale that is Beatrice's game. However, didn't she entrust everything to Will and have all of her riddles solved? There should be no need for her to make new riddles. In that, words. In that case, is Burn Costello using this tale to test me? Along with Will, I have at least touched the deepest depths of this tale, and understood the culprit's heart. So, even if an entirely new tale presents itself, I should be able to see through the riddles. Is that what my role is? Is my role to teach Anjay about the truth of this tale?
あなたは知っているんですか？この物語の真相を。
いくつかの仮説は考えてるわ。でも、どの説にも最終
Oh
的
yeah,
な
you
答えは
wouldn't.
出せ
You're
ない。
just spitballing and corkboarding, but you know, we got the script.
真相はいつも猫箱の中。断定はできない。
In this world, Anjay is absent on this day. So, it's only natural that she doesn't know what happened. However, at the very least, I do know who the culprit is, and what they were trying to do.
やっと。
Yeah, we can watch a retreading of everything, a bit of a, I don't want to say compilation, but kind of combination of all of them and just kind of, walk through the steps.
自分の役目が分かった気がします。
どういう意味？
どうやらあなたは感激者で、私は解説者のようです。
何を解説してくれるというの？
私は、これから起こる事件の犯人を知っているからです。
何ですって？
Yeah, it's Yasuda slash Canon slash Shannon
普通に考えれば
slash Beatrice
何者かが私たちに碑文を解かす横取りを狙っているようにしか思えんがね。
同感だ。先に解いたなら猫ババしちまえばいいだけの話。わざわざ俺らに解いてみろなんて挑発するかってんだ。
And this is where Leon comes in and like, well, actually, the riddle's already been solved like a year ago.
使用人の誰かのいたずらだわ。あわよく黄金が見つかったらご祝儀におこぼれがもらえるかもしれないっていうさもしい考えに違いないわよ。
Yes, but no.
当家の使用人の中に
There's a grain of truth in that statement. But you're a little bit off the mark there, Ava.
あるいは使用人のふりをして私たちの中の誰かが差し出した手紙だったりして。
それを言ったら一番怪しいのはあんたでしょうが。マリアちゃんに一芝居打たせてあの手紙を読ませたんじゃないの？
私はそんなことしないわよ。
予算かエヴァ、決めつけたらあかんで。今はみんなで結託して相談し合う時やないか。
そうね。あの怪しげな
Gotta form a united front against
私
this
たちの
witch.
結束を乱すのが狙いでしょうね。踊らされれば踊らされるほどベアトリーチェなる差出人の思うつぼだわ。
キリエさんの言う通りだね。あのような手紙など初めから意に介さないくらいがちょうどいいのではないかね。
I mean,
私は最初からそうだと言っています。こんなの取るに足らないいたずらです。
if this was normal circumstances, yeah, totally be reasonable. However, you're all gonna fucking die. So, you better solve that epitaph.
全くその通りや。おかしなクレームの1件や2件でびくついてたら商いはやってられんで。
主人の言う通りだわ。こんな子供だし真面目に考えるだけ損だわ。本当に遺産騒動に絡みたい何者かなら手紙なんて遠回しなことをせず堂々と姿を現せばいいんだし。
It would definitely throw a wrench into the works, if Yasuda Leon actually came out and said like, oh yeah, hi, I'm your half sibling who's also your, oh god, what, your aunt, but who's your also your sibling. How's that for an inheritance issue? They just have a goddamn stroke.
だな。俺たち以外に遺産を要求している人間がいると思わせておこぼれに預かりたいってやつがいるんだろうぜ。
遺産問題に口を挟まない代わりに口止め料をよこせとか言い出すのかしら。
それを言い出すならもう手紙に書いてるはずだわ。
手紙の内容は碑文を解いてみろ。さもなくは全てをいただく。
犯人はわしらに碑文の謎を解かせたい。それ以上でも以下でもないっちゅうことだ。
How hard can it be?
つまりよ、こんな手紙気にしたら負けってことだぜ。
同感だ。まるで推理小説のようなミステリアスな演出だったので、ついつい私たちも面白がってしまった。我々も余裕がない。
Nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun.
しかし、誰がこんな手紙を。腹立たしいことです。
使用人じゃないなら私たちの中の誰かが書いたんでしょうよ。
Well, that's how the math works.
誰とは言わないけれどね。
よしてよ。本当に私は知らないの。
まあまあ、しかし手紙の言うことも一理あるっちゅうもんや。わしらは誰も彼もそれもできたら今すぐや。それに異論がある者はおらんやろ。
そりゃそうだ。金と愛はいくらあっても困らねえぜ。
親父殿の遺産がいつ転がり込んでくるかわからない。しかし碑文の黄金は違う。見つかれば直ちになわけだ。
ある意味お父様の遺産以上に目の前にある金だわ。
碑文の謎が解ければの話だけれどね。
ここにいる皆さんも碑文の謎にはそれぞれ挑戦されたんでしょ。
Kyrie asked the room at large, and everyone wordlessly nodded back.
ここには出題者であるお父さんの血を引く人間が4人もいながら、それぞれがバラバラに謎に挑戦したら効率的ではないと思うわ。
だな。俺たちはそれぞれが欲の皮を突っ張らせて、
Yeah, make it a group project, you know, do a little sibling bonding.
しかし黄金発見時の分配等についてはもう俺たちの中で決着がついて
いる。Either, you know, none of us get any at all, or, you know, we all team up and each get a bit.
そして兄貴が次期当主であることを認めるってのが
な。それを引き換えに随分とふっかけてくれたんだね。
Yeah, but you know, if we find the gold, it will be worth it.
3人よれば文殊の知恵。それどころか私たちは7人もいるわ。
Lucky number.
お父様の遺産問題については私たちは今日おおむねで合意を得ているわ。余興のつもりで碑文に挑んでみるのもいいんじゃないかしら。
No point wasting energy on trying to backstab each other now that we've come to an agreement.
せやな、一服のつもりでちょいとやってみるのもええんとちゃうか。
バカバカしい隠しようもなどと。
Hush, Natsuki, play along.
まあまあ余興だと思ってよ。ゴーダさんに冷たいもんでも持ってきてもらおうぜ。一服しながらたまには兄弟水入らずで謎解きごっこをしてみようじゃね
えか。どうせ夜は長い。親父殿の寿命についてくだらない詮索をするよりよっぽど建設的だと思うよね。
ゴーダさんに電話するわ。何か持ってきてもらいましょうよ。
お茶とお菓子と
And
あと台湾の地図でも持ってこさせる。
Where do you know that you know, you've got the inkling? Two figures could be seen in the Rose Garden Arbor. It was George and Shannon's secret meeting.
この指輪を受け取ってほしい。
ジョージ様。
君を生涯愛することを誓う。若い今だけじゃない。置いてお墓に入るまで。
Yeah, even when you're like old and ugly and like all wrinkly like a prune and your tits are touching the floor.
その言葉に嘘偽りはありませんか？
ああ、ないね。僕には君を愛し幸せな家庭を作る絶対の覚悟と自信がある。
その幸せな家庭とはどんなものですか？
それはとても幸せな家庭だよ。
Well, that's very broad.
車と庭付きの家、
with a white picket fence and a dog.
そして飼い犬が1匹。庭には家庭菜園。子供たちが駆け回り、僕たちはバルコニーから微笑ましそうに。
No, at least 2.5 kids, you know, to keep the national population up.
それが
That way they can keep those dirty non-Japanese foreigners out.
それは素敵な光景ですね。
あの二人付き合ってるのかよ。
Yeah.
声が大きいってマリアが起きちゃうだろ。
そうか、そうだったか。言われてみればなんとなく今日もあの二人いい雰囲気だったしな。そうだよな。俺たちももう恋をする年頃だもんな。
Well, Shannon's been that age for a while.
この6年で私たちは随分変わったぜ。ジョージ兄さんも昔は頼りない感じだったけど今は違う。
それは思ったぜ。ジョージの兄貴、随分と貫禄が出てたもんな。
You know, he's coming to his own. But still, Shannon Chan and George Aniki. That's a bit unexpected. They played together often enough 6 years ago, but I didn't think they were that close. And just George swooped in on the rebound.
この6年は誰にとっても大きいぜ。
だな。俺もこの6年いろいろあって、
Yeah,
正
you
直六
did.
軒島のことはほとんど忘れ
I
てた。
think you might have some explaining to do if you think about it for a little bit, you know.
まあ、私もバトラーのことほとんど忘れかけてたけどな。
そりゃひでえぜ。
Do a little bit of reminiscing and maybe have an oh shit moment. Talking together like this felt as though we've been transported 6 years into the past. Those 6 years were so long that I forgot almost everything. And yet, it's coming back to me, bit by bit. Shannon-chan. 6 years ago, you were part of our group, and we played together a lot, didn't we? Back then, I think I might have liked Shannon-chan. That was at the age when we were all overly self-conscious, in love with love. I recall bittersweet memories of jokes involving melodramatic, flippant words.
懐かしいぜ。今だったらとても言えねえような恥ずかしいことを
just smooth right on over
言っちまっ
that.
たような。
You know, like the most traumatizing experience of her life.
思い出しただけで赤面しちまうぜ。
シャノンはそそっかしいけど記憶力はいいからな。後でこっそり昔のバトラーの恥ずかしい黒歴史を聞いちゃおうっと。
よせやい。6年経ってるぜ。さすがに時効だろ。
Yeah, they all said things, it's dumb, stupid kids. I see. So, Shannon-chan is going out with George Aniki. What am I thinking? Could this be jealousy? I didn't really think about it until now, but the thing Shannon-chan and I had back then, that was probably my first love. Well, it's not like I have any right to be jealous after forgetting the whole thing until we met again. What? It's been several years? You're all adults now? You can, you know, just talk about it. Clear the air, so that way there's not this weird, you know, awkward self-conscious feeling.
親父殿は今も時折台湾を懐かしんで貧乏を噛んでいるよ。
Not anymore. The man's fucking on ice.
若い日にタバコの代わりに覚えたらしい。
でも鮎が泳ぐ川なんていくらでもあったと思うわ。
Unless they have them just like, I don't know, pickled in a jar.
鮎なんて水さえきれいならどこにだって住んでたでしょうよ。お手上げだわ。
お父さんが子供の頃に遊んだ
sneeze.
近所の小川かなんかでちゃうか。あゆっちゅうとるが案外船程度のことかもしれんで。
Ugh, Asian carp.
あるいは
Fucking dog shit fish. Absolute menace to North American ecosystems.
川が水の流れる川とは限らないかも。
水の流れない川と？
さあね。
Yeah, what is a railroad or a road, you know, other than a river that doesn't have water?
何のことや
ら。キリエが言うのも一理ある。故郷を台湾と決めつけるのも、愛の川が水の流れる川と決めつけるのは何も。
そう言われちゃお手上げやで。こら考えれば考えるほどに難解な謎や。
At some point in theory crafting, you just gotta like commit to like going down a route. Otherwise, you're just gonna be second guessing yourself forever.
そうよ。これはきっと謎なのよ。キリエさんの言う通りだわ。頭を柔らかくして考えるべきなのよ。
Yeah, this is all just another one of your dad's dumb jokes.
淡水河かしら。あんた、話聞いてるの？水の流れる川とは限らないって話をしてんでしょうが、その川が鮎の川だって保証はあるの？
そうよね。ごめんなさい。
No.
まあ多分鮎も泳いでたろうぜ。何しろ。淡水の川だったんだ。淡水魚の鮎が泳いでても不思議はねえだろうぜ。
鮎は淡水魚。鮎の川で淡水の川。
Oh, there's not many saltwater rivers.
それで淡水魚ね。
Unless you account like, you know, delta tributaries and stuff.
言葉遊びだな。
面白い説じゃない。もう少し推理を進めてみましょう。川を下れば里あり。淡水河の河口には何て町があるの？
淡水。
淡水と書いてあります。
淡水は観光で行ったわ。落ち着いた港町よ。夕焼けが綺麗だったわ。
その里にて二人が口にした岸ってのがあったか。
This is where we get into weird fucking railroad.
さあね。
Fucking word game
心当た
shit.
りなんてないわ。
やっぱり懐かしき故郷というのは台湾のことじゃないのよ。やっぱり小田原なのかもしれないわ。
全ての可能性を否定するべきではないとすると、やはりこれはお手上げだね。私たちには碑文の1行目からすら話がまともに進みやしない。
静かにして、気が散る。絶対に台湾よ。お父様が台湾以外を懐かしいと形容するわけがない。
From the sounds of it, he fucking hated being in Japan.
それについて
Everything about being here sucked until he met, you know, the first Beatrice.
お父様にとって今でも台湾は心のふるさとなのですから。
一行目ばかりに固執するのも良くないわよね。私は他の行について検討してみるわ。第一の番からをちょっと見てみることにする。
俺もそうするぜ。鮎の川は姉貴に任せてその先を検討してみよう。
第一の番に鍵の選びし6人を生贄に捧げよ。ミステリアスね。
Very. Let's see if they're able to suss out Quadrillion.
わかった。
Ava suddenly muttered. All the others spun around to look at her. Ava flipped through the pages about Taiwan with incredible force. Then she found the page she was looking for and slammed the book open so hard that it almost tore. This whole time, they'd been looking at pages with place names. As far as the overall mass of information went, those had seemed the most useful pages to start from. However, the page that Ava opened to was very limited in the scope of its information. It was a map of railway lines.
川を下れば里だわ。あった。
何の話だね、エヴァ。説明したまえ。
漢字 word games。
静かにして。岸もある、口もある。二人が口にするというのはわからないけど、でも里も岸も口もある。ここよ。絶対にこれが黄金の鍵の眠る里よ。
落ち着くんや。どういうことかわしらにも分かるように説明してや。
淡水線。なるほど。鮎の川というのは淡水線という名の鉄道のことだと。
鮎は泳いでいないと思いますが。
Your thinking is too rigid, Natsuki.
見て。 淡水線を下り方向に進んでいくと、旧名がキリガンって駅がある。ほら漢字をよく見て、里がある、口がある、岸がある。
ほんまや、里がある、口がある。
川を下ればやがて里あり。確かに淡水線の駅名の中で里がつくのは、
It's all tracking so far.
なるほど。その駅名を暗示しているようにも見えるね。
絶対にこれよ、間違いないわ。調べればいいのよ。二人が口にしの意味もきっとわかる。見て、これこれ。地名のキリガンの
Real fortunate that
口辺に里だわ。
that the book tells you that.
ということは、キリガンは口辺が2つ。すなわち、2人が口にし。
すごいわ、姉さん。
And maybe you'll get an extra 10% of the gold,
これよ、間違いなくこれだわ。
このキリガンという町のどこかに鍵が隠されているということでしょうか。
どうかしら。
It's metaphorical.
ここまでの謎は言葉遊び。だとしたら、眠る鍵もまた言葉遊びの可能性が高いん
Yeah,
じ
it's
ゃ
not
ない
like he
でしょう
left it, I don't know, under like a rock at the station.
同感だわ。第一の番に鍵は6人
No, that
の
would be
生
very
贄を
funny.
選ぶのよ。つまり本当に鍵状の形をした何かとは考えがたいということだわ。
面白くなってきやがったぜ。
Yeah, really getting the blood pumping.
鍵の選
And
ぶ
the hands
6
sweating.
人を生贄に捧げよう。これから連想できる鍵を考えるの。そしてそれでキリガンという地名を噛み砕くのよ。私にはわかるわ。これはきっと言葉遊び。絶対に言葉遊びよ。考えてみんな。
面白いものだね。
And transition.
一人なら気のめいるような雨でも、君と一緒なら
Really? I'm the kind of person that
涼
likes
しく
rain.
て気持ちがよく感じるよ。
As long as I'm not, actually standing out in it trying to do stuff. But, if I'm just sitting under the porch, I like looking at the rain.
そろそろ戻りましょう。カノン君を待たせてますので。
そうだね。僕もジェシカちゃんやバトラ君たちをだいぶ
One
待
of
たせ
my
ちゃった。
favorite things when I was back in my parents' old place, I had a big old farmer's porch and some rocking chairs on it. Big thunderstorm rolling through. Just go sit on the porch where it's nice and cool because it's a low pressure front because of the said thunderstorm, and just sit there and watch the lightning.
懐かしいですね。お嬢様にジョージ様、バトラ様に私で4人で遊んでいた頃もあったんですよね。
Gonna bring up the thing with Ballard. Like, hey, didn't you you used to have a thing for it?
あの頃も楽しかったですね。
僕は今の方が楽しいよ。君を独り占めできるからね。
Ooh, smooth.
ジョージ様ったら
They laughed at George's melodramatic line. However, George's laugh seemed just slightly
ジョー
forced.
ジ様
Is he gonna go like, oh, I was actually kind of a little, not totally worried, but no, the Battler's back. Kind of got me, a little feeling funky.
ああ、ごめん。僕はね、未だにバトラ君にコンプレックスがあるんだよ。
コンプレックス
He's the younger kid, but he was always cooler and got along with the girls more.
彼はルドルフおじさんに似て快活だし面白いし、何僕なんかよりよっぽど魅力的だ。
I don't want to say you're flaccid or have no personality. You do. You're just a lot more reserved.
彼と僕が並ぶと自分が霞むのがよくわかるんだ。
そんなことはありません。ジョージ様は立派ですし、魅力的です。
And also, Battler is a dirty fucking liar who doesn't remember the promises he makes. He's not worth it. He's scum. He's scum. He treats women like trash.
バトラ様に
She starts
何
going
も劣
off.
るところなどありません。
本当に？
ええ、本当にです。
実はね、今年バトラ君が戻ってくると聞いて、僕は最初嫌な気持ちだったんだよ。
どうしてですか？
You know, I thought he might swoop in and steal you away.
6年前、君と本当に仲が良かったのはバトラ君だった。僕は君ともっと仲良くなりたいと思っていたけれど。
Yeah, from the sounds of it, fucking asshole, you know, little stuck-up little shit George, no shot.
指を加えて見ているほかないくらいお似合いの二人に見えたよ。
そうだったでしょうか。お似合いの二人どころか、私が一方的にバトラ様にからかわれてただけで。
最高にお似合いの二人だったよ。間違いなくね。君たちは付き合っているに違いないと信じてた。
They kind of had a thing going, but they were never like
そんなことはありませんでしたよ。
an item or a thing.
ジョージ様の考えすぎです。
僕は本当にみっともないね。
Yep.
今日君に指輪を渡すとき断られるかもしれないと怯えた。
どうしてですか？
Oh, now that the cool guy Battler's back.
私がジョージさんの指輪を
You know, the guy you really want to be with.
バトラ君が帰ってきたからさ。君は本当は今でもバトラ君のことが好きで。
I mean, yeah, but you know, she's completely compartmentalized that into Beatrice, so it's fine.
彼が帰ってきた今、僕は用済みなんじゃないかな。
So Shannon doesn't care for Battler anymore. Like that.
ジョージさん、これをご覧ください。私の薬指に輝くこの銀色の輝きです。これは何ですか？
そうだよね。ごめん。僕は何を動揺しているんだろうね。6年ぶりの再会でさらにかっこよくなった彼にまた嫉妬していたんだろうね。
I mean, he's way cooler though.
情けないよ。
その気持ちはすなわち私を誰にも渡したくないというジョージさんの強い気持ちの表れなんですから。もし私の気持ちがバトラ様に移るのではないかと怯えるなら
Just kill him and you don't gotta worry about anything.
そんなことを絶対に思わせないくらいに強く愛してください。私があなた以外の男性のことを考える暇なんかないくらいに。私だってないんです。私より魅力的な女性なんてこれからもいくらでも現れるでしょう。あるいは至らぬ私に愛想を尽かすこともあるかもしれない。生涯あなたの気持ちを私だけにつなぎ止めていられるか怖いんです。
I mean, I don't think George, you know, he's not Rudolph.
それを君が怯える必要はないよ。僕は君を生涯愛し抜くことを誓う。
私もそれを誓ったのにバトラ様が帰ってきたら信じてくれなくなりましたね。
Yeah, you know, just throw him off balance. As Shannon giggled, George finally realized that his own lack of confidence had hurt her.
私は後宮ジョージさんという素敵な方を射止めました。そして生涯私を愛すると誓わせ、それを誓う指輪をこうして贈らせました。その指輪をこうして薬指に通した上で正直に告白します。私は確かにおっしゃる通り。
Why now that Battler's back, you should just go have a talk and be like, hey, you know, it's whatever once was there, it's done, you know. We're past it. I know it's been a while. Let's just get this over and done with, you know.
6年前、バトラ様のことが好きでした。多分、ジョージさんより好きだったと思います。
Well, yeah, the Georgia 6 years ago?
でも、
he's a little fucking nerd.
それは6年前の話です。今の話ではありません。バトラ様へのその気持ちは、この6年間で整理され、思い出と一緒に過去へ決別したのです。今の私はあなたを愛するためだけに存在します。
Now it's just the bittersweet memories of youth. Shannon spoke clearly and strongly. George gave a single, uncertain laugh. Probably the same sort that Georgia 6 years ago had made. Then he straightened up his back and hugged Shannon without saying a word. In that moment, he parted ways with the person he had been 6 years ago. Ooh, an actual chapter transition inside the Tea Party. Normally they're one and done, huh? But with that, that's where we're going to end here for today, because it seems like it's still going to be going on for a hot minute. Or maybe at least one more chapter if we're already at the chapel. But we'll have to find out next time. Catch you guys later. But before that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and the notification bell. See you guys all next time. Later. Bye. Mwah.